What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Good morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Um, sorry, apologize for a little song there. Yo, y'all are stacked in the chat before we even start. That's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome what I got going on over here. What we've got going on over here. All-Star weekend coming up this weekend, which is exciting too. I'm gonna go get cleaned up after the show because I'm heading out to Indianapolis this weekend as well. Before that, there's a diabolical schedule for the Indiana Fever. You got to be careful if you're them because they have to play in Boston tomorrow night and then in New York, in Brooklyn on Wednesday night. I do not know. Let me just talk to the WNBA schedule makers and the commissioner for a second. Who in the hell thought that was a good idea? Who in the hell thought the host team with the most important player in the league should have a back-to-back right before the All-Star weekend? Because it's not an All-Star break. We cannot call it an All-Star break in the WNBA. It is not. There is no break about it. They play Saturday and then are back playing regular season games Tuesday. There is no break. That is BS. It is an All-Star weekend and a celebration of the sport and all that. But as far as it being a break, that's BS. That is not the case. Anyhow, there was the big game yesterday. I guess you can call it a big game. I mean, the Dallas Wings stink, so it's not really a big game when it comes to like a team matchup. But of course, when you've got Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark playing their first game against one another in the WNBA, that's going to get some attention, right? And, Paige, she seems slightly annoyed in the post-game press conference about being asked about Caitlin stealing the ball from her a few times. And I do get that, sentiment from players sometimes when they're always asked about Caitlin Clark. But this, was the first head-to-head matchup. And this photo is going kind of viral. Bree Lurkey shared it from her account, and you can see Clark kind of clapping and Paige looking back like, I'll get you next time. I'll get you next time. But, in this game, some things that were telling to me, one is that it feels like the Fever are really starting to figure it out. As much as the Valkyries loss led to crash outs, and even I was questioning the give and take between the coach and the player, meaning Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark, the two of them really seem to be on the same page now, and the entire team really seems to be on the same page now. When you go and if you look at their post-game press conferences, there's an article about this on Indiana Fever on SI, but it's in the description below. If you go look at their post-game press conferences, they said the same exact thing, right? Like Caitlin Clark said right afterwards, she talked about 30 assists on 40 made shots is about as good as it's going to get. That's really impressive, and I think it just shows the selflessness of this group. That's something that Steph always preaches and something she always talks about, how many of our field goals are assisted. And then Stephanie White sits down a few minutes later and says, I like the fact that we had a 75% assist rate. 30 assists on 40 made field goals is really good. We got it moving. We were playing close to 0.5 basketball in the second quarter, meaning she doesn't want them dribbling the air out the ball. 0.5, get the ball, make a decision. And you saw the Fever as a whole activated and how dangerous they can be. Because if Natasha Howard and Caitlin Clark can develop a rapport, that was like one of the last missing things. And Howard looked much better in this game playing alongside Caitlin Clark. You could see them getting in sync, and a bunch of players scored. Sophie Cunningham is coming into her own. Kelsey Mitchell is a hooper, a scorer, all those things. Aaliyah Boston's had a great season the entire season. So that is all good things for the Fever, who blew the Wings off the court. And then there's the Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers aspect of it, and the direct head-to-head. Like, look, Paige is a hooper and a baller. There is no saying otherwise. Anything else is foolish. But I think you saw the difference between the two of them and the difference in why Clark is different than everybody else in this game. Because you can go and look at her shooting numbers and try to use that against her, but you cannot look at the performance and use that against her. And that is the difference with Caitlin Clark, because I've always said it's not her shooting, it's her passing and playmaking. Her passing and playmaking put her on a different level than everybody else. It's why she's the best player in the league, in my opinion. When she's got it going herself, she requires the most defensive attention and she activates the most players around her. Not to mention she could score for herself. So she picked them apart. She carved them up. And she played, I think she was the best player on the floor by a mile. Paige is a really, 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 really good player, really efficient player, really smooth scorer, all those things. And she's been saddled a little bit in a rough spot because her teammates, she's got some selfish teammates. She's got some teammates who don't run back on defense. And that's a big problem for the Wings. That's one of the reasons the Fever were able to light it up against them. But the difference between Clark and everybody else is the way that Clark changes the floor for all of her teammates. Her impact on I've said it a million times. Caitlin Clark is as good a passer as I've ever seen. Not WNBA, like basketball player. She's on the level of LeBron James and Magic Johnson and Steve Nash and Jason Kidd and those level players. She's a basketball genius in the way she sees the floor. And see, like that pass that she made to Sophie Cunningham, ridiculous. And that's the difference. That's the difference. And why, she's able to change the dynamics and make the team so dangerous. You think people can look at the score. Look at how many points the Fever were able to put on the board. And yes, Caitlin has some great teammates. No one is dissing or taking away from her teammates. I mean, look at that. Howard had 18 points in this game, 8 of 9 from the floor. When she's running the floor like that and spacing the floor like that, look out. And Kelsey's as talented a ISO scorer as there really is in the league. And can shoot, obviously. And Aaliyah, Boston has taken a massive leap this season. Now, Caitlin also played really good defense in this game. That's another thing that when you're looking at that 5 steals, only 2 turnovers, 13 assists to 2 turnovers. I mean, these are massive things. And that's the difference between Clark and Bueckers. That's the difference between Clark and everybody else. That's why I say she's the best player I've ever seen in the WNBA or women's basketball. Not because of hype, not because of anything else, but because of that impact on the floor. And then you see like the way she's defended and everything. It was funny to see that it called out on the broadcast yesterday where they were talking about how she fouled and fouled and fouled and fouled. And even mentioned how Paige Bueckers had said, like, it's a jarring thing for her because she has to learn to play defense while fouling. Versus in college, you can't just foul on the perimeter. And Rebecca Lobo was like, there's a foul, there's a foul, there's a foul, there's a foul, like Oprah. You get a foul, you get a foul, you get a foul. Because, if Caitlin wasn't allowed to be mugged on the perimeter, it'd be even worse. But yeah, that's always what excited me the most about her game. I mean, logo threes are great and they are exciting. And when she did what she did against the Liberty, where she had those 3 threes in 38 seconds, the 9 points in 38 seconds, of course, that's a difference maker. And exciting and worthy of the highlights and all that. And of course, Caitlin was also the college all-time leading scorer. But she changes the game the other way, in my opinion. That's what makes her different and special. not her ability to score. She can score, and she's going to score. And when those shots start falling, look out. But it's always been about her playmaking to me. And there's never been somebody like that in women's basketball or the WNBA. There's never been a player who can activate so much of the floor. Sorry, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. And that's why she's better than Paige Bueckers and everybody else. All right, let me also get to the ESPN player rankings. They just came out today. It's always funny when these things come out, these lists come out. Member chats, super chats are going to go first once I get to the comments, y'all. So please get those rolled in and queued up for me after I get this spiel off. So here's the ESPN player rankings. I can share them with you real quick. All right. Sabrina Ionescu at 5. Interesting. Brianna Stewart at 4. So one notable thing is Nafisa Collier is number 1. Not like surprising or anything, but if you played attention last year, it was like, if you say anybody other than A'ja Wilson is the best player, you are biased and out of your mind and should be banned from Earth. I mean, that's the way it felt like last year to me. I'm just saying. I was just like, when I would give basketball takes, it's like, how dare you not go to the top of a mountain to declare A'ja Wilson the GOAT. So I find it ironic when there's this backlash against like any Caitlin Clark over love or whatever, but like if it's A'ja, it's fine. It's just not as loud or as as omnipresent. Alyssa Thomas has had a terrific year, and I think she is underrated. Because she's not a great scorer, but her impact on a team, her all-around abilities, she is an engine and a beast. I'm not so sure, she's definitely a top 5 player, and top 3 player I'm fine with too, and I could argue her against her. I could. Brianna Stewart, I don't know. I feel like this is getting done out of respect at this point. Jonquel Jones is the best player on the Liberty. I know she's been out hurt, but I believe Jonquel Jones is the best player on the Liberty. You got Sabrina here, very good guard. Alicia Gray, got no problem with any. Now there's Caitlin Clark down at 9. They write about it being because of injuries, so whatever. I don't know what the parameters are. I get, clicks and all that. They got her stats wrong. 19 assists over her past 2 games. I mean, again, I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. Caitlin Clark is the best player when she's healthy. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's not standing either. It's just I've been a basketball fan my whole life and a pro in this business for over 20 years, and that's the way I see it. That's the reason she gets all this attention. If you want to say, like, based on production on the season, I'm fine with the ranking. If that's the qualification. Based on production on the season, she's been in and out of the lineup. She's been in a slump. She's been injured. But if we're talking about, like, ranking players, that's insane. Neko Gumake, Skylar Diggins, Kelsey Plum, Paige Bueckers. That's pretty good ranking for Paige. Jackie Young. Kelsey Mitchell, 15. Kelsey needs some love. Ryan Howard, Kayla McBride, Angel Reese down at 18. I think she moved up from where they had her. I want to give Angel Reese some credit. I think Angel Reese has been tremendous as of late. I see Angel really working on other aspects of her game. Not even working, putting it on display. Credit Tyler Marsh. I think he's activated another aspect of Angel's potential. Angel with the playmaking. Angel's a really good passer, and a beast on the boards, obviously. She's finishing at a higher clip, and she's a versatile defender. So I think Angel when she's got it going is much higher than that. And Angel has like super role player floor, superstar ceiling. It's, the stuff that she does easily makes her an elite role player. The things that she adds to her game can make her a superstar, if that makes sense. And I feel like she's been playing at a superstar level as of late, or close to it. Now, she wasn't as good in the second half against the Lynx, but she, she had fee in hell. She had fee in hell. Head to head with the number 1 ranked player. And she always gives Nafisa Collier trouble. I think Angel's been awesome. And look, I mean, again, these stupid Clark Reese games, I don't care what people think. I don't care if you're a Caitlin Clark fan and Angel Reese fan. I'm just giving it to you as I see it about basketball. Not personality, not what somebody said off the court, not race, none of that shit. Like, Tulip, I didn't say rope. I said her floor is that when she's just doing what she does naturally. When she's added the other stuff, superstar. That's what I said. No one's dissing her. Quite the opposite. Member chats and super chats will go first, like I mentioned. So get those suckers in. About to go to the chats. I don't think there's anything else really from those rankings to look at, is there? Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe so. But for all the fever crash outs, got to be feeling better about things now, right? Let me fix the thumbnail real quick. Hang on. I forgot to do that before we got started here. And then I'm going to get to your chats. So get them in right now. Member chats, super chats will go first. Let me go to the members. Twofold. Says they don't get a notification when I go live. I don't know. Is that something I got to fix in my settings? Let me know if that's a common problem or a twofold problem. New member, Tay Boogie. Welcome, Tay Boogie. Thank you. We're going to do a member event coming up here. Let me know what you guys would want to talk about in a member event that would be different than a regular stream. Twofold says WNBA scheduling is irresponsible. Maybe they're so lazy it's AI generated. I mean, they're so amateurish like that. The scheduling is insane. The fact that the Fever are playing a back-to-back on the road on the East Coast before hosting the All-Star game is batshit crazy. I do not understand who the hell thought that was a good idea, how that was greenlit. Insane. I mean, it gets magnified because Caitlin Clark's been dealing with a bunch of injuries all season. But that is nuts. Diana Noble, let's see Fever get to face JC Sheldon and company for a rematch on Tuesday. Then the Liberty on Wednesday, get home super late Thursday a.m., then get up for the skills challenge. Yeah, I'd be saying this about it, but especially when you've got, look, Caitlin Clark is the draw, right? Like, she's the captain of the All-Star team and the captain of, attention for the league. Chris Ward, it seems based on this last game that Steph and company are finally accepting that Cece's brilliance comes out when she has the ball in her hands. The off ball should be the exception, not the rule. Well, I mean, I think it's a blend. There's always a balance. And I would say Caitlin played off the ball a decent amount yesterday, 30% maybe. But there are also, I think one of the things that coach is harping on is for Caitlin to make quick decisions when she's got the ball too, and not like pound it. That's so, they don't want everybody else trying to get involved. They want her getting everybody else involved. Now, part of that is also like, how does Caitlin get the ball back after she passes it? Those sort of things. But yeah, that's in the mix. CC shooting is inevitable, just a matter of time. Her playmaking is her superpower. Yeah, I agree. That is what makes Caitlin different than everybody else, is her playmaking. It's always been what I said. Diana Noble says, looking at the season WNBA stats, Clark is number 3 in FB per game. What is FB? But it does not appear in the stats number. You have to drill into detail. It might be just because of qualifications of how many games she's played for stats, but I don't know what FB is. Fast breaks? Caitlin's only played half the season. She's still got a chance to win MVP, I would say. Fee is the runaway favorite right now, but I don't think she's been that much better than everybody else. And Caitlin's missed too much time to be considered and hasn't shot the ball well enough to be considered. But she still has time to get there, especially if the Fever keep playing like they did yesterday. And some of her numbers round into form a little bit. Twofold says, CC wasn't even player of the week while having 2 triple doubles, and they had the highest season opener. I mean, look, you see the way Caitlin Clark is guarded. The respect is obvious. Even the fear, I would say, the fear of her is obvious. It's both. Respect and fear are cousins, right? Just like nervousness and excitement are cousins, I always say. That was always my spiel about like doing stand-up comedy and stuff like that, or live performance. That excitement and nervousness are cousins. Because whenever you're nervous, you're also sort of excited, and it's flipping it. Stern says Angel has a good year, and this is when they choose to underrate her. CC is the only one to get punished for getting hurt. Yeah. Well, look, Caitlin Clark going to get clicks no matter how you spin it. But it does feel like, she's used in that sense. It does. Very nice super chat from John. CC played off ball at Iowa. Thank you, John. Difference was she played with them for 4 years and they set better screens. CC is still the main ball handler. Hell, she had 13 assists yesterday and could have been more. Yeah, and it's a work in progress, right? They're still learning each other. They've had her out of the lineup, and I think the returns in the second half of the Atlanta game and the entire Wings game were very encouraging. And Caitlin's going to start to set screens off the ball and get the ball back. Again, I think the difference in the way Natasha Howard played against Atlanta versus how Natasha Howard played against the Wings was stark. It was stark, like Tony. And I feel like give them some time there. Give them some time there. And it seems like Caitlin is in step with her coach now. If she wasn't totally before, that they've figured that. And I don't think they were ever like far off because they like each other and respect each other. But there can be little bits of frustration or disagreement, or when you're working your way back and you're trying to do it and it doesn't work out and whatever. But I feel like they're getting it now. They're getting it now. Twofold says I have a soft spot for Azare Stevens. Could be a big for the Fever. I mean, she'd be perfect for the Fever, but they ain't gonna just give her to you. Like, how do you get Azare Stevens on the Fever? You know, some of y'all are a little extra about Caitlin and Stephanie White. I'm gonna get to the regular chats in a minute, but again, member chats, super chats go first. So working my way through those. Before, I know some people get mad at me like scrolling through the chats. Oh, fantasy points. Gotcha, Diana. Gotcha. Let me take this ranking. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. All right. I think I got through the member chats. Obviously, super chats are appreciated. Thank you, Rita. I'm not above putting compliments on the screen, nor am I against putting disses on the screen, as anybody's familiar with. I like a good argument too, as long as it's in good spirit. But I appreciate that, Rita. I also saw someone else say I was great, so I'm gonna find that one too. I'm gonna find that one. Who was it? It was like Diana or something. Or no, Diana Noble is it was Donnie. Sorry. It was next to Diana's comment. I'm the man. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you. And I do think Natasha Howard, there was another Chris Ward, another member chat. Seems like Natasha Howard finally realized that she will get fed by CC last game. Arike bad fit with Paige. Yeah, the Arike Paige thing is interesting. That's definitely interesting. That is something to watch out for. Hey, Rosie, what's up? Are you by your computer? If you're by your computer, I just sent you. Oh, she's at the coffee shop. Well, you could do a hit from the coffee shop. Well, where's my guy White Gold? I see. Is he in the chat? Let me find him because Ari looking off Caitlin is a tad concerning. So shout out to my man here. We've been online correspondents and friends for a minute, but he is a talented musical artist as well, has credits on the most recent Eminem album. So, like you don't get, he's got beats on the most recent Eminem album, which is it's as big as it gets, right? I wouldn't worry too much about that, considering they just got together and they're figuring each other out. So I'd give that a little leeway, is I guess what I would say. Because I don't think Ari McDonald has any animosity or any of that toward Caitlin. And it's probably a matter of them figuring things out on the fly. Because I still believe Ari McDonald has been a great pickup for the Indiana Fever. Tony Aiken's always in here giving me shit. Robin, your take on basketball is limited to what I like, not basketball talent. CC is no way close to the best player. I disagree. I don't know what you do. You could say it's limited. You could say whatever you want. I believe that Caitlin Clark at full strength is the best player. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody else says. It has nothing to do with what I like I mean, yes, it has something to do with what I like because I'm gonna have uh, a positive connotation on the way, the play style I like. But I'm not like I y'all got to realize I can give a shit about Iowa, right? I'm an East Coast dude. I've been on the Northeast my whole life. Um, I had no vested interest in the Midwest or Iowa. I did not like stan Caitlin Clark because of Iowa. It's the same way I became a LeBron James fan, like, or however you want to say it, fan. I mean, I can't just be a fan in my role. Like, I'm not just sitting here like, ooh. It's because I watched her play and I was like, this girl is different. She's different. And I always bring it back to Michael Jordan. Like, no one would get criticized for boosting Michael Jordan. And that's what Caitlin Clark is. She's the Michael Jordan of her sport. The way she's elevated the entire league. And then also, again, when she plays, I'm sorry, like they ain't guarding her the way they guard her for no reason. And you see the way she activates the rest of her team and gets everybody involved in that sense and is such a threat. And when she plays defense like she did yesterday, and I think she's a better defensive player than she gets credit for, she has a greater impact on the game than any other player. That's just what I think. That's just what I think. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to, qualify it to meet some sort of standard or be fair or whatever. It is what it is to me. To me. Look at the fever before she got there and look at the fever now. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and tiptoe around it. And yesterday's a perfect example. She didn't even score the ball well. And she freaking dominated. She dominated the game. Thank you, White Gold, again. Basil in here hating on rap. Like, Basil, can we, what kind of 1950s ass take do you got? Like, I never understood. I will never say one. Everybody has their personal preferences. But I will never say that one genre of music is like inherently superior to another. But I never understood, like, rap is a different style of music, but making the beats, making the music, sometimes sampling in and of itself is an art form, but so is putting together the music, arranging the music, composing the music. How is it different to use a drum machine or a beat machine than to use a guitar? How? Like, and then like, why is singing better than rapping? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to sit here. I'm not going to tell you that country sucks or whatever else. And I love all sorts of music. I just never understood that take. It's like a hating ass old take. Yeah. Coming for the boomers. I saw Tay Boogie, our newest member, with a chat. Drake is not a rapper. Come on, man. And Kendrick Lamar just absolutely destroyed Drake head to head. So, come on, Tay Boogie. I don't like Drake. I've never liked Drake. I've never liked Drake, ever. Like, even Drake, when he was at his best, I still didn't really like. And Drake not at his best, I definitely don't like. But I never liked Drake. There's always been something about him that felt inauthentic to me. I never liked his music. It always felt bland and repetitive. Um, I mean, the Kendrick Lamar line on there on Euphoria. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acts tough. My favorite Drake songs are "Hold On, We're Going Home" and "Passion Fruit." Those are the Drake songs that I really like. And so I did take a lot of great joy to see Kendrick Lamar absolutely take Drake apart. You shouldn't have to apologize for your opinion. It's the wrong one, but you're allowed to have it. I think he was talking about Caitlin Clark there, but nonetheless. Nonetheless. Chicago Cheetah says rap is great, but R&B is better. I'm not a big R&B guy, but to each their own. I'm not going to say it's not music. The Texas Truth, rock is not music. It's loud banging on pots and pans. Exactly. That's, of course that's not true, but, that's the same thought process. That's the same thought process. Bill McDonald says Eminem is the best and he's white like CC. My honest opinion, the three greatest rappers of all time, the three best rappers of all time in my mind, Jay-Z. Jay-Z is the greatest of all time. M and Kendrick. Kendrick and M. I think what Kendrick did this past year or so, I've never seen a year like that. Pun intended, I guess, like that. So he elevated himself. And he already had a tremendous catalog. He already had a Pulitzer Prize. But to be able to take down his competition, if you will, in such epic fashion while making such great songs in the midst of it, dropping a classic album in GNX in the midst of it, while doing the Super Bowl, he rose up the rankings. Eminem, from just like a wordplay standpoint, is probably like the greatest. Just like pure wordplay. And Eminem's impact cannot be denied. Going back to Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers LP and then 8 Mile with the Eminem Show. I think he had a period of time where he made some pretty garbage music, but he has rebounded from that in recent years to give himself another run. And then there's Hove, who has been, like, everything's going to stop if Hove drops again now. And he came out in 1996. He has the best catalog. He has the best versatility. Jay-Z's the GOAT. Yes, Kendrick over Pac and Nas. Yes, in my mind. Nas is great, but Nas is not, he's like a little one note for me. I don't think Nas has the versatility that some of these guys have. Start a rap channel. This is a b-ball channel. Sorry, I can talk about what I want, bro. It's okay, Michelle. You could leave. Y'all can leave. Brett Atwood, Two Live Crew, and Two Live Crew is a little vulgar for my taste. Member chats, super chats, get them in. Thanks, Gulf of America. My channel sucks. Talking about rap. What a brilliant comment from a Gulf of America account. It's funny, like, people get so like, bye, I'm leaving. Like, all right, okay. I'll talk about what I want. It's my channel. Sorry. I just talked about all the other stuff for 35 minutes. I can have a little fun. And then I get a comment like this, which I'm going to read too. That I'm going to spin it to fake wrestling. Y'all, by the way, wrestling last night, where was that chat? I saw it. Where the wrestling last night, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky put on an absolute classic that was followed up by a Naomi cash-in, which was such an exciting and great moment. And here it is. fake wrestling thing, you do not insult wrestling fans that way. I don't know why people try to do that or say that. No one cares. There is not a single wrestling fan who thinks it's real or legitimate, I guess is the word I would say, because fake is the wrong word. It's certainly not fake. But there's not a single wrestling fan who feels that way. So I never get this like knee-jerk reaction to do that. My kids know. I told so they don't hurt each other. My youngest is 4. He knows. Like, what point do you prove? How about fake competition wrestling? Real competition wrestling exists. So, yeah, and some of those guys went into pro wrestling, you realize, right? Kurt Angle won a gold medal in the Olympics and then went on to become one of the greatest pro wrestlers. Brock Lesnar, same deal. What's up, Matthews Muses? Get those member chats, super chats in. Brett Atwood said, I like this comment. He says, Angel is having a great month and I hate it. Yeah. I respect that comment a lot from Brett. I do. Because you don't have to you don't have to real quick, I'll go back to your chat in a second, Wody Mac. And appreciate it. But Brett's chat was about Angel's having a great season and I hate it. You don't have to like Angel to recognize she's playing well. And I guess that's the point. Like, no one's saying anybody has to root for anybody else. Top 100 rap songs list. Any modern songs list for you? Yes. Euphoria, I would 1000% have on. Not Like Us, I would have on as well. 2 of the songs from that. But Euphoria is one of my favorite rap songs ever now. Probably a top 5 song for me. I love that song so much. Marcy Me off of the last Jay-Z record, 444. Best rap songs in recent years. I have to remember what's come out recently. I mean, that Chains and Whips joint off the Clips album is crazy. Pharrell put his entire foot in that beat. Good God. I don't what counts as modern also. Wody Mac. I mean, I don't know how far back am I allowed to go. That's what I would need. Queen Latifah gets 2 songs in a top 100. Queen Latifah, yeah, I mean, UNITY. Is that what we're talking about? UNITY. White Gold says Angel is annoying because she was just crying last month, and now we got the best young core in the W. She talks too much trash. I hate it. Okay. Yeah, that is look, I mean, you can hate it. But Angel's playing great too. Can't take that away from her. Tell Dr. D David Schultz it's fake. That is funny. That is funny. All right, guys, that is a lot of good comments today. A lot of mixture of different topics as well. Any interest in boxing? So, yeah, I mean, my career started with Max Kellerman, and I went to a lot of boxing events with him. So I do have an interest in boxing. I'm not a boxing aficionado. I have not seen that fighter. I did see some of the fight the other day, the Taylor Serrano fight, and I will watch Canelo and um, Terrence Crawford. Matthews Muses, have we discussed the upcoming back-to-back and the stress on CeCe's body? Chances of winning both. Yeah. Uh, that is tough. That is tough. I did discuss that. I don't understand how this schedule happened. I would sit her for one of them if it were me. I think it was, well, yes, Kelsey Plum did say that. Also, ESPN ranked young cores and had the sky low. Look, Angel's allowed to feel herself and boast a little bit, you know? We can't get like all, everybody can't get their whatever in a bunch just because Angel talks some smack. Again, you don't have to like her, but they won the game. She was beating her chest a little bit. So what? Bobby, sports is entertainment. Sports journalism is entertainment. Robin is entertainment. Robin is entertainment. I agree. That's a good maybe way to send off this chat today. Well, I'd sit her for the Sun game because I'm going to the Liberty game. RIP. Yeah, no question. That was I don't want to get into detail there, but that was a rough time, and I knew Sam. Brett absolutely trashed. CeCe absolutely trash talks to other players and even coaches from the court. Off the court, not so much. We've seen her talk mad to the entire bench in the Connecticut game. Late to the show, but Paige balled out. Wings still took a spanking, but give her props for going down swinging. Yeah, look, I mean, she played fine. She played good. She played very good. But I think you saw the difference on display. I do. 424 people in the chat. We got, when you count the other sources too, more than that. But hit the like, smash the subscribe, all those things. I do appreciate you guys. I do got to get out of here soon too. But that should about do it for today. Didn't I guess I just said that. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, all that. I do appreciate everybody in here very much. That was a fun chat. And I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about my other interests too. Like my channel, my topics. Either leave. Oh, man, I pointed the wrong way. Either leave or like. Until the next one, y'all. Yeet.